Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you've had an enjoyable Memorial Day weekend. Today, certainly cooperative weather-wise. We're able to get out there and do a few things outdoors. There are still a few showers out here west central Shannon County. Most of that's over the forested area. A couple other little light sprinkles in this mess here. But for the most part, the activity winding down. Let's check out the time lapse of the last couple of hours or so. What has formed has moved pretty rapidly to the north. Right now, that activity is beginning to wind down. However, it's not the last of the rain that we could see tonight. There's a big complex of storms down here in Oklahoma and Texas. You can just watch as that thing's rolling on to the east. You actually can see kind of a little swirl up here just south of Oklahoma City, and that whole thing is going to start shifting to the northeast and will drag some rain into the Ozarks a little later on tonight. Right now, there is that tornado watch out here for far northwestern Arkansas, but as you can see, the bulk of the really nasty stuff is way down here going down into Texas. So hopefully we can kind of skim by with just some rain. Now, Beaver Lake is very high. In fact, it only can hold about 3/4 of a foot of water. Then it's at the top of the flood pool. So they're starting to release water into Table Rock Lake, and Table Rock Lake is beginning to come up. So folks who do have docks down there and fishermen need to keep an eye on the lake level over the next couple of days, because it is going to be a real concern as that water continues in Oklahoma. As far as the rain this week goes, just a couple of umbrellas Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Much of this activity is going to come overnight into the morning hours, and then the days should be dry. But as we head into Friday and Saturday, our chances of rain are going to be kicking it up a notch, and next week it actually looks pretty wet. Checking in the radar satellite composite, here comes that wave of energy that I was telling you about, and you see that's pretty long-lived as it marched across the Sooner State. It's all part of this big complex of waves of energy out here in the west. Look at all that unsettled weather. So there's one here, another one here, and still more up in here in Idaho. So lots of energy to come across the central U.S., and so the weather's going to remain pretty active. Now, the humidity levels are going to remain pretty high, too, here in the central U.S. as the Gulf of Mexico is open for business. And there is this little front right in here. So activity is going to develop on here, say the late afternoon and evening, and that's why it'll roll through the Ozarks during the overnight hours and then be done with for the day. And you can see by tomorrow afternoon, we're talking about some pretty decent conditions here in southwest Missouri. So as we get a look at futurecast, here comes the rain tonight into the southwest part of the state. That zips off. We may have some heavier showers from Rolla down towards the West Plains area at about 3 o'clock in the morning. By the time we get to drive time, just a few scattered showers left, and the bulk of the day we'll see the cloud cover beginning to thin out, and that will start to allow our temperatures to warm up. So a check of travel weather for those who do have to travel for business. There is going to be some thunderstorms. St. Louis, Memphis, and Little Rock. Tulsa and Wichita should have a quiet day, and it looks like just about everybody's temperature is going to be up around 80. So our forecast for tonight, some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Overnight lows back down to low to mid-60s. Winds will continue from the south. Tomorrow, another day almost like today. We'll have some clouds. We'll have some sun. There'll be a few isolated storms. High temperatures up in the low 80s, and we'll have southwest winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. 7-day forecast still looks pretty active. Again, much of this is going to come overnight for a couple of days. The wet weather looks like it's going to be Saturday and Sunday. And then I actually have some good news, Ethan and Emily. It looks like the first part of June, we may stick together, say, 2 or maybe even 3 dry days. How about that for